What do you know about the Prophet Muhammad? You are ignorant.
I know that you're deliberately insulting
What do you know
people
about the Prophet?
who
How
have-
am I insulting?
Live TV is supposed to be controlled until one insult, one joke, or one refusal turns the entire studio into a battlefield. These are the moments when debates stopped being debates, interviews collapsed, and famous guests completely lost control on camera.
Along the way, Jim, you ceased being Jim and you became Chris.
Well, let me tell you a little secret.
From shocking slaps to thrown punches and full studio brawls, each clip proves one thing. The most dangerous part of television is when the mask finally drops. Grace Jones versus Russell Hardy.
Well, maybe I should go right now.
No,
then.
don't go right now.
A glamorous interview slowly turned into something far more uncomfortable. Grace Jones sat there, watching Russell Hardy repeatedly turn away as if she had vanished.
You're back on me anymore.
I can't look at you.
The silence became sharper than words. Then, in one shocking slap, she turned a TV insult into an unforgettable warning about respect, as she could not handle it anymore. Piers Morgan versus Tommy Robinson.
Yes or no? Are you Islamophobic?
There's no such word as Islamophobia.
The studio stopped feeling like a debate and started feeling like a warning. Piers Morgan demanded respect, asking Tommy Robinson to put the holy book down with dignity.
And you flouncing the Quran around in your hand.
But Robinson refused. In that moment, the argument became bigger than religion. It became a televised battle over power, provocation, and restraint. Up next, anchor versus reporter.
A lot sooner. I'm here every day.
Live television turned tense when an anchor suddenly challenged his own reporter on air. What started as criticism over a weak question
You're not here, you're there. Is there any question?
quickly became a public lesson in pressure, ego, and professionalism. The reporter stood frozen as the anchor pushed harder, proving even newsrooms can explode without warning. Shaker al-Juhari versus Muhammad al-Jayusi. When a political debate over Syria's war suddenly became live television chaos, Shaker al-Juhari and Muhammad al-Jayusi traded accusations until words were no longer enough. The desk shook, the set collapsed, and Johari lunged forward with a kick, turning a talk show into a warning. 16-shot M versus Flacco.
It's big folks, and Ben McKell will say, yo, we have...
The interview started with tension, but nobody expected it to cross that line. 16-shot him and Poetic Flacco argued until the room felt ready to snap. Then came the spit, sudden, disrespectful, and explosive, turning a heated conversation into a near fight on camera.
I'll beat the fuck out of you. No, man. I'll beat the fuck out you, but motherfucker.
Shaker al-Johari versus Sami Khrais. This was not just another political debate. It was a studio moment where anger completely took over. Shaker al-Johari and Sami Khrais were discussing the crisis in Syria, a topic already filled with pain, division, and emotion. But as both men defended their views, the conversation stopped sounding like analysis and started feeling personal. Voices rose, accusations became sharper, and the tension in the room turned physical. Within seconds, the set itself became part of the fight, with bottle thrown, and this was not enough, so he threw chairs towards him. What began as a debate about war became a shocking example of how politics can break even the people meant to calmly explain it. The studio was already burning with tension before Roy Innis finally snapped. During a political talk show debate, Al Sharpton challenged him. Voices climbed, and the room tightened.
Bob Abrams to an apologist of Bob Abrams.
Then Innis suddenly shoved Sharpton backward, turning a war of words into a shocking live TV moment no one expected, as he slapped him and slammed onto the ground.
That's a lot of brother, and I got
Andy Kaufman versus Jerry Lawler.
I was going in the ring, and this is something that I was doing, and it was no reason
As
to
a
hurt
joke,
me. Oh,
right? It's
yeah,
not a joke
as
to
a
me.
joke. Yeah.
What looked like a talk show interview suddenly became wrestling theater in real life. Andy Kaufman, wearing a neck brace, demanded a simple apology from Jerry Lawler for what happened in the ring. Lawler refused, saying that was just wrestling. Then the tension snapped. Lawler stood up, slapped Kaufman hard, and sent him crashing out of his chair.
You are full of bullshit, my friend. I will sue you for everything you have. I will sue your ass. You're a mother...
Jim Rome and Jim Everett. A sports interview turned explosive when Jim Rome kept mocking Jim Everett's toughness by calling him Chris. Everett warned him to stop, but Rome pushed one insult too far.
Along the way, Jim, you ceased being Jim and you became Chris.
Well, let me tell you a little secret.
In seconds, the table flipped, Rome hit the floor, and a simple interview became sports TV history. Grayson Walker. A morning TV joke suddenly turned icy when Grayson Waller refused to play along with the idea that wrestling was just fake fun.
No, you want to talk to me like this ain't real? I got no, don't have to.
The hosts pushed for a move. A crew member stepped in jokingly, and Waller snapped back with real anger. In seconds, laughter disappeared, the studio froze, and a harmless segment became a tense lesson about respect. Burt Reynolds versus Mark Summers. What began as late-night banter suddenly turned personal. Burt Reynolds was already tense over jokes about his divorce, and when Mark Summers fired back with a marriage joke...
Scissors. He's got scissors!
She says, good morning.
I'm still married, as a matter of fact.
Yes, well, you...
The mood snapped. Reynolds dumped water on him, Summers retaliated, and within moments, the interview dissolved into flying water, broken composure, and a chaotic pie fight that felt too real to be comedy. Cardi B versus Asia. The room was already loaded with tension before Cardi B made her move. She believed Asia had been judging her and talking behind her back, but Asia's answers only made things worse.
Going off like, oh, you're annoying, you're always talking about bull.
Then Cardi B snapped, pulled off her heel and threw it, turning reality TV drama into one unforgettable explosion. Facier Ghibli versus Cole Nicola. What was meant to be a serious discussion about workers' rights quickly lost control. Facier Ghibli and Cole Nicola clashed as the conversation grew sharper, more personal, and harder to contain. A debate about fairness became a heated on-air warning about anger overpowering the message. As he got up in seconds and slapped him straight into his face. At first the host got stuck and tried to think what had happened. What began as a serious discussion about racism suddenly became one of daytime TV's most infamous explosions. Geraldo Rivera tried to control a room filled with hate, anger, and provocation. But one insult lit the fuse. Guests rushed forward, chairs flew, and the entire studio collapsed into chaos. Even the audience involved in it and started fighting, and some of them got badly injured. Alexander Lebedev versus Sergey. A debate about the economic crisis suddenly turned into billionaire-on-billionaire chaos. Alexander Lebedev and Sergey Polonsky were meant to discuss finance, fear, and Russia's future.
Потому что у нас нету системы нормального образования, потому что у нас люди половина лентяи не хотят, которые сидят и говорят, ой, нам мало платят.
But one sharp remark changed everything. Lebedev snapped, threw punches, and Polonsky tumbled from his chair onto the ground in live television. Some of these moments were funny, some were shocking, and some showed how fast control can disappear when cameras are rolling. But which on-air fight surprised you the most? Drop your answer in the comments, hit like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more wild TV moments in the next one.